Hi everyone, Simon here again from Your Guitar Academy, and today we're going to be looking at the 3 lead sections to the Gary Moore song Out in the Fields. Now, the first lead section sounds like this. So what I'm doing there, we're in the D natural minor scale, and we're going to bend from the 12th fret to the 13th fret, so just a semitone bend. Then bend back down to the 12th fret, then we're going to go to the 13th fret of the B, and then do a full tone bend. So, like so, we play that twice. And the third time, we're going to do a full tone bend from the 13th fret of the top E. And then finish it off with a tone bend back on the 13th fret of the B. Like so. So let me play that for you at half time with a drum click. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Take a look at the lead section that happens in the section just before the main solo. So we're basically playing through the background chords. So it sounds like this. So let me run through what I'm doing there. Basically, we're playing 16th notes here, sorry. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... So you really want to be using alternate picking for this. You could do all downstrokes at a push, but you're gonna tire out your right hand if you do that. So I'd suggest alternate picking. Now the first section, we're going to start on the 3rd fret of the D. And then we're going to rock our first finger across to the 3rd fret of the G. Then we're going to go up to the 5th fret of the G. And with your little finger, you want to be playing the 6th fret of the B. And then we're going to do 3rd fret of the D. And then 3rd fret of the G. 5th fret of the G. Back to the 3rd fret of the G. So that whole section. And then we're going to repeat that for a second time. But on the second time, you want to do a nice little bit of vibrato on that 3rd fret of the G. Then the second shape we go to, we're going to be on the 5th fret. 5th fret of the D. To the 3rd fret of the G. To the 5th fret of the G, and then up to the 3rd fret of the B. Like so. And then you're going to go 5th fret of the D, 3rd fret of the G, 5th fret of the G, and then 3rd fret of the G with a bit of vibrato on the second time round. So that section sounds like this. Then from there, we're going to go up to the 7th fret of the D, to the 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, up to the 5th fret of the B. And then we're going to do 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, back to the 5th fret of the G, like so. But the second time round, we're not going to repeat that, changes slightly. We do 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, 5th fret of the B, and then we go to the 8th fret of the B, 6th fret of the B, 5th fret of the B, and then 7th fret of the G. So that whole section sounds like this. So the next section we play, we're going to start on the 5th fret of the G, rock our first finger across to the 5th fret of the B, 6th fret of the B, and then 8th fret of the B. We play that twice. And then we go back down to the 5th fret of the D, 3rd fret of the G, 5th fret of the G, 3rd fret of the B. We just play that once. And then we're going to go up to the 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, 5th fret of the B. And then land back on the 7th fret of the G to end this whole section. So those last 3 bits sound like this. So now I'm going to play that entire section for you at half time along with the drum click. 1, 2, 3, 4. And next we're going to look at the outro lick. So this section is in E minor, E natural minor, because at this point of the song we've transposed to the key of E minor from D minor. Now this section, it sounds like this. So it's a nice little fun lick to play, and we're descending down the E natural minor scale, down 2 octaves pretty much. So we start this lick on the 7th fret of the top E with our first finger, and then with our little finger we're going to play the 10th fret of the top E, and then we're going to come down to the 8th fret of the top E, 7th fret of the top E, and then we're going to do 10, 8, 7 on the B, and then we're going to shift position ever so slightly, so I'd suggest using your little finger for the next note. And then we're just going to play 9, 7, 5 across the G, D and A strings. So 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 5, and then end on the 7th fret of the A string. So the fingering I'm using for those groups of 3 notes is little finger, middle finger and first finger. So let me play that for you again at half time along to the drum click. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are all the lead parts to the song Out in the Fields. So join me on the next video where I'm going to be showing you how to play the guitar solo.